All right, all right. Hey, everybody, we are live another Tuesday evening. Finally back on live with my main man, Mr. Peyton. I know you guys all missed me on the last one, but he did a very good job. He did a very good job.
I think it might have even been better just by myself because I have control of
well,
everything.
come on now. All right. So, first of all, I want to welcome very special guest with us today. Social media icons, my good friends. Miss Leanne V is with us tonight, and Mr. Dom Benjamin, or we could just say Don and Leanne Benjamin. There we go.
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. So tonight, what we're going to be doing is we're going to touch on some social media topics. We're going to go over a few things, bring some topics to light. I think Peyton actually has a detailed list from Leanne, and me and Don are just kind of here, right? That was.
No, you guys are not just here.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. So first of all, let's go into the background of Leanne Benjamin or Leanne V. Leanne V. Let's get into the social media background. When did you start your social media journey?
So I've been on social media, I feel like forever. Like even when I lived in Modesto, social media wasn't even like a thing. I remember, I'm literally telling my age by saying MySpace, but I feel like I've always been active online, but never professional till 2013. So I moved to LA 2006 for 7 years. I've literally done so many different things, from working the different jobs, from restaurants to red carpet hosting to being a backup singer for this artist that was really big at the time, and traveling the world and really just trying to get my foot in the door, taking acting classes, dance classes. And I've always been active on social media like YouTube and stuff, but it was never a really consistent thing until probably 2013. I met a friend, Daystorm Power. He's like the OG of social media. So I was pretty much
love Daystorm, by the way.
Yeah,
love
shout out to Daystorm Power.
Boys.
He's amazing. He's definitely taught me so many things, and he pretty much opened the door for me to really get into the social media world because he was already being so successful in YouTube. So I was in his videos and I was like, how is he making money off social media? This is crazy. I don't even know anyone that does this. So I was really interested, and he said, well, Vine, there's this app called Vine that's about to come out. You better hop on it before you miss the train. It's going to be the next big thing. And so me being in LA, trying to focus on music and dancing and acting, like the things that people, want to move to LA for, not social media. So it was, the direction was more comedy based, and I honestly don't think I'm funny, but I think I have funny ideas. People think I'm funny, I guess, but I pretty much got into it doing funny sketches, short 6-second videos. I was posting 3 times a day in between working, selling cars, going, traveling the world, being a backup singer on the weekends. Like my schedule was always so crazy, but I wanted to squeeze in what I felt was really important to me, which was socializing and building my audience and finding ways to really just connect with everyone in LA, because networking is really important. I feel like social media has made it so much easier to connect with everyone now. But back then it was just, you had to do the groundwork. You had to meet people. So social media for me started from Vine, I would say. And within 7 months, I accumulated 1 million followers, which was huge at the time because no one had 1 million followers like that back then. So it was a huge accomplishment for me. And pretty much from there, I just kept doing comedy. I started getting into beauty and fashion, and just really diving in and really building my audience and connecting with my audience and trying to stay as authentic and real through my life, and also incorporating my family. My parents are a really big part of my life and my career. I wouldn't be here without them. So I'm just grateful that they've been a part of the process. And Don and I were shooting content way before we were dating. So we were really friends for 3 years doing content together.
I just shot content to be close to her though to move in.
Yeah. Well, how did you guys meet? Like, what was it? How did you guys meet?
We actually met through mutual friends while talking about content. Like right when I was fresh off of America's Next Top Model, we were at like a sushi lounge, and her and it was like I don't know if Daystorm was there that night, but
a few of my girls and friends, some of his guys, we kind of met,
and we just connected, like just organically talking about work.
Yeah,
Don
and
was
you guys.
lip-syncing in every video. He's like, I'll play the model. So everybody was like,
I'll just pull up. I'll just be the cameo.
I remember those days. I was in the background. Me and Don were just friends at the time, but I remember hearing stories of hanging out. So, but I want to say that you guys are amazing together. You guys are extremely funny, and I know we're friends, but I still love watching all your videos, all your content. And let's make sure that people know where to go to watch Don and Leanne on YouTube. I believe you guys just hit 1 million followers on YouTube, right?
Heck
Yeah,
yeah, we just hit 1.1 already today, so it's going up.
Well, we're trying to get like those numbers, so maybe we could jump on your live.
Yeah, we'll do it live on our end.
YouTube is hard.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the hardest platform because, especially with YouTube, it's long form, so it takes a lot more work, more production, and consistency is really hard on YouTube. I would say it's very, very tough on YouTube, but through the years we've been able to finally get to 1 million.
It's all about consistency, man.
Yeah.
You stick with anything long enough and it's gonna take off.
For sure.
Yeah, I respect your guys' hustle for sure. I see you
Appreciate
guys are always working. I know that if there's ever ideas or work that's going on, I know I can bounce it off you guys, and we're right in the same zone. So I do love that. Also, Don is actually wearing a Create Luck hoodie. It's going to be available this week. Boom.
You
Okay.
see what side it? Lucky.
Yeah, we actually have a collab coming out with Leanne V. It's called, well, I don't know if I should say
Create
it.
Love.
Create Love. Create Love is coming out.
Love.
Yes, we're all excited about it. But let's get into this. Mr. Payton, let's get our first topic. Let's talk about social media topic.
Yeah. Well, first off, set the foundation for this whole thing. All right.
Okay, let's set it.
We've said it on here before. So in 2024, Preview Model's goal is to kind of pull the curtains back on the industry a lot more than we have in the past. And, to start showing everybody that this business is just like any other. It's a business. And so the reason that we're having this conversation tonight, the last event that we had in Los Angeles in October, multiple of the agencies that come to our event came up to me and they said, hey, you guys should start focusing on, a little bit more on the social media branding side with your clients. You should kind of lay the foundation for them, blah, blah, blah. So we listened. And so that's what we're doing. We're here. We're getting insights from the pros, you guys, on, how this whole crazy world of social media works. And especially now how it's kind of, blending all the old school industries as well with social media, which I still consider kind of new because it's new all of the time.
Yeah.
You guys just went on YouTube, which was new for you guys. So there's always something else that's going on. So I'm looking at your list here. There's just so much to talk about.
There is. And what we're really excited about, actually, for the March 2024 production, which is just a few weeks away, is Miss Leanne V is coming on and helping us out and doing a couple things for social media, giving guidance about her expertise in the social media world. And we're extremely excited to have her there. So thank you for that, Miss Leanne.
Can't wait for that. That's going to be so fun.
All right. So, Mr. Payton, let's go to topic number one.
Yeah.
What do we got?
I'm going to kind of hop around a little bit here. So, a lot of our clients that are coming to our events in LA, their main goal is to get representation with an agency or a management company. And so usually, for most people, when you hear, agent, manager, you think, okay, I need to be actor, model, singer, dancer. But these days, influencers also have representation. And so do you guys have representation for just social media, influencing type thing? And if you don't, give us some insights on how that works, because it's out there.
Yeah, no, we definitely, I have a manager for acting. I have an agent for acting. We have management for modeling, and we have management and agents for social media just alone, because a major part of business nowadays is social media. So we have a team that just, goes and focuses on partnerships with brands and helps us kind of stay aligned with different things that are trending or different things that we can do for our brand as well. So yes, we do have a team for just social media.
All right. And then, you know, for everybody that's watching live right now, if you don't remember from the last couple times that we've done this, feel free to put whatever questions that you have down in the live chat box. I don't know where it is, but put your questions there and then we'll bounce off of those as well. So, okay. If you had to start, so how many followers do you guys have on your platforms, like across all of them? Do you know that number?
I have, let's say I got 2 million on Instagram, 2 million on TikTok, 1 million on Facebook. Leanne has what, 4.7 million on Instagram.
Yeah.
You got like 12 million on TikTok. We just hit 1 million on our couple YouTube channel. We got like another 1 million on the solo YouTube.
I don't even know.
We probably got like, we're probably at around like 20, 25 million, like across the board.
You're multimillionaires at this point. You're multimillionaires.
So just a few more people than Josh has followed.
Yes.
And so, I mean, they got a couple more. They got a couple more, but don't count me out.
No.
Yeah. So
I'm keeping up.
His show, and he's going to be right there with us.
Let's say that you guys don't have any of those followers right now. You're starting all over. Your family and your close friends are the only ones following you. Right now, in today's world, how would you start over? What would you do, knowing everything that you know now?
I would just do what I did before. I would really just focus on finding out first what kind of direction I want to do in social media. Whether if it's beauty, fashion, fitness, lifestyle, you just want to know what direction you want to go towards and study. You have to study all of the people that you are admiring or looking up to. Say if you wanted to do beauty, look up beauty gurus. If you want to do fitness, look at all the fitness influencers and try to study and see how you can create it for yourself. Like you can be inspired, but make it your own and just start creating content and understanding that you just have to keep posting, be consistent no matter what, really. Like whatever goes on, you have to find ways to create content even when you feel like you don't feel like it. You know, there's many times that I remember like not feeling my best and I had to put a fake smile on. And sometimes it's okay to talk about how you feel that day if you don't feel like being on a happy mode or whatever. It's good to be real and authentic to your audience. So being consistent, knowing the direction and just staying focused, I would say. But consistency, like Don said, is key. Finding a good community of people that you can also connect with to do collaborations. I feel like it's really important. And say if you don't have a community of people, you really have you and your camera. Like that's what I did as well. I moved to LA with just 2 friends and then also started, you know, making new friends to really help build my community of creators. But, you know, it just starts with you, really. So
I have a quick question. How do you guys come up with like these topics when you guys are filming something? Because like I see some of your stuff and I'm like, golly, that's so cool. Like the one where you did you're like, whew, and like your whole new outfit. That was so dope. I was like, God, I wish I could do something like that.
You know, we just find different people that inspire us. Like that's on the trending page. It's really good to pay attention to the trends, the music trends that also get you in the algorithm. So study the different influencers and study what's popular. And also, again, make it your own.
And then a lot of times just if something happens organically in our life, we'll be like, yo, how could we twist that and make it like a video? Because I'm sure like a lot of times we're thinking like if something's happening to us, how many other people can relate to this situation? Right. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of the times we want to do videos that we think are going to be relatable to the world because that's how you're going to get more engagement on a video. You know what I mean? And so we're like, with our daughter, we're like, yo, how many people have kids and are dealing with the same thing we're dealing with? Let's do a video with it. And a lot of times that's usually how something will grow is relatability. Okay.
I like that. Okay. So we're going to jump into a quick question. So how to find a social media manager? How do you find a social media manager? And how they will help build our social media. So okay, let me rephrase the question, I guess. So how do you find a social media manager? Number one, let's start there. How did you guys find a social media manager?
And I think what we mean is like someone to represent you, you know, as an influencer. Not
representation for social media.
Yeah, for sure.
How did that come across for the two of you?
We, well, you know, as you start to grow your followers, management starts to kind of come find you more so than us reaching out to management.
Or say if you don't have anyone reaching out, You just, I
Ask
feel like we
around.
asked a lot of our friends, like, who are you managed by?
If you look at a lot of like influencers bios, they
Yeah,
usually
they
have
have.
their management or agency like linked in their bio.
So you can message them, email them. I think it took me a while to find good management. I've been in and out of different management situations, just trying to find a management that understands my vision and what I want to do for my career. Because at the same time, just because you have representation doesn't mean, oh, we're all good. You have to make sure you find a team or a person that can understand your vision. And, you know,
And some management also has a certain like network of clients that may not suit the content that you create. You know what I mean? There may be a manager that deals with more sports influencers, but if you're doing beauty and fashion, they may not be able to find you the right opportunity. So you have to also make sure that you're aligning with the manager or agency that has a network of brands that work with align with the correct type of content that you're creating as well. But yeah, definitely as you focus on creating your content, I feel like they'll reach out to you, but also do your research of, I think, looking at bios, Google, you can go on Google and search different agencies and they'll kind of give their ratings with the agencies. So
Yeah.
there's a lot.
And on this management team, like who does manage, do they help build your social media at all?
No, I wouldn't say they help build. I feel like they give guidance and advice on, say, if they pitched us to a few different brands and they said, well, we're looking for creators to do this more, to have more talkie videos or more lifestyle. Depending on what these brands are looking for, they kind of tell us, okay, this is what you guys should do more, implement this kind of content. So they guide us, but their job is really to do outreach and negotiate deals.
Okay.
They don't really help us get more followers. That's our job. We have to continue doing the content. But that's pretty much, what they do.
Yeah. And then here's a follow-up to that content. On average, how often are you capturing content through the week? Do you have a set schedule for filming?
Every day.
Everything we do is content.
Everything.
You pretty much choose what you want to show to your audience. And I notice people love to see how we are at home with the family. People want to see what we're eating. They want to see what products we use. So we just kind of snap everything, and everything's content, really. I'm actually doing content right now. You guys don't even know it.
Hello. Follow me. Oh, okay.
That's something that like I've always wondered, because with Josh on all these like fun TV shows that he's on right now, he's like
tell him more, Peyton. Tell him more about
I will tell him. He's like really going down like the social media rabbit hole, and I'm like the exact opposite. It's like, you know what? I'm not filming this because I'm extremely hungry right now, and I really don't care what any of this looks like before we eat. Or, before we eat whatever. So like, how do you guys like balance that with just like being able to feel like you escape from like constantly having to produce,
It's funny because I'm similar to you. Like I come from like the TV and film world. And so like Leanna's helped me understand and remember that everything needs to be captured, because as much as we're living, this is also a business, you know what I mean? And so like me coming from like the modeling and film world, a lot of times I'm thinking like, sometimes I just want to be in the moment, but then sometimes being in the moment, a lot of times that moment is what our followers and fans want to actually be a part of, because nowadays it's different nowadays. Like by people following you, they want to feel like they're really involved in your life. Right. So everything is content because you're sharing your life. It's like reality TV from your phone. You know what I mean? You're sharing your life with your followers, and it's deeper than, and also as you're building this brand and your followers, that by letting them be involved in more, they feel like they're more a part of your life. You know what I mean? Right. So they're not just following you to see what content you're posting, but they're following you because they feel like they're a part of the journey as well. And Leanne is amazing at that. And a lot of times I'll slip up and she like reminds me like, no, we got to get this content. Like sometimes I just want to wake up and chill. And she's like, no, we got to get this idea or shoot this, so it's a full-time job. Like people don't realize it, but like, it's literally like your brain is working 24/7.
So social media, honestly, what I've had to learn over the years, because it started consuming my mind into a point where I started being so stressed about it, feeling this guilt of not getting certain content done. And I had to understand, like, social media really is just a small portion of our life. Like, our daily life, we do so much that social media doesn't see. So learning how to divide and have structure, you have to implement structure, and also really just knowing how to balance the two. Like, for example, if I'm going to eat, I'm starving too. Like, I love food and I want to eat now when I'm hungry, but it just takes a second to take a picture. So knowing that I take that picture and then I just put my phone down and eat, we've actually practiced a lot, not having our phones at the table. A lot of people don't even realize I'm capturing content, because I'll capture it really quick and put it away. I do all my editing later, and I don't ever post on real time, especially if, say, I'm at a restaurant. I'll post that once I leave or later on that day when I have more quiet time by myself. So I feel like you can figure out how you can just capture content and also put your phone down and be in the moment, because it really just takes a second, unless you can also put a tripod up, press record, and just do what you're doing. Or if you want to take it another level, just hire someone. I have a lot of friends that
Like
aren't
Josh,
good.
you could just hire
Yeah,
a
hire
team.
a team.
I'll do it.
You're all good.
I'll play
Let's
with
go
Zaya.
Yeah,
Now
if
you have a team that captures all your content when you're out.
and
moving
whatever
around.
works for you. Again,
Oh
some
yeah,
people,
yeah, that's right.
whatever.
It's like,
I
how,
thought you wanted me to come over there and film. I was like,
I'm saying,
okay.
like how you
Quality
have a
probably isn't going to be very good, but go ahead.
yeah, no, like Leanne will capture everything herself, but like you have a team. Like when we move around, like you have your videographers, you have the people that are capturing the content for you.
Yeah.
they'll put it together
And
later.
we balance our time with that too. Like, for instance, if we have a birthday party, like for Zaya's first birthday, I did not want to be stuck on my phone. So I did hire a team to help take pictures and do video so we can be in the moment. And also all my friends did a whole Dropbox of dropping all of the content that they got from me. So it's just, there's ways to go about it so you can still be in the moment. But if you are that person that just does not want to be taking content, you can hire someone or have, a friend help you. So there's ways to do it, but it is important to have balance, because it is.
What about editing? So editing, there's a question here. Do you have a team that edits your content, or who is how involved are they in the content creation process before it's posted?
We edit everything. I edit a lot. Don
Leanne is our editor, our videographer, our photographer.
Yeah, Leanne's a beast.
I'm her photographer and videographer, and she's mine. And then she edits, and I edit.
Yeah, well, you know what? For YouTube, I remember when we were doing a lot of long form, I was editing a lot, but I noticed that I started getting so exhausted and stressed because we would do content during the day. I would edit at night and I would lose sleep. So we started having someone come in and help edit our videos. But for the most part, all of our like reels, TikToks, YouTube shorts, we edit everything. So, and I'll edit as we shoot.
Long form, we get editors for sure, and we'll shoot everything, and then we'll just send them a file, and we'll send them notes on kind of how we want it laid out. That's for long form, but short form, yeah, we edit right on our phones.
All right, so let's get into another question really quick. Do you all use a specific app for your analytics when pitching to brands for collabs? Also, in your media kit, what key elements do you include that help your kit pop?
Good question.
I'm having a tough time reading today, so you might need to read some more of these, Peyton.
I think I can handle it, so no worries.
Maybe I need some reading glasses.
Usually with Instagram or TikTok, everything like I think once you reach a certain amount of followers, then you get like a creator portal that just, I don't know if it's like a certain amount of followers or if everybody gets it, but it shows all your analytics on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And then usually like with brands, they'll just ask for updated ones constantly. So like you'll screenshot like your latest analytics and send it over. As far as a media deck, usually the agencies will create media decks for you. Usually they have like, different layouts that they'll just input your information in. I know that's what they do with ours. We usually don't really deal with brands directly, so we're usually not sending stuff. It's usually our agencies that are sending it. But I know like the main things that are on the media deck are usually like analytics, and then like previous brands that we've worked with to highlight that you are working with some of the top-notch brands. Those are like the main things on the media kit.
I had something happen to me the other day, actually. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but I posted a shirtless photo with some Calvin Klein's on, and Calvin Klein actually reached out to me.
I don't
Oh,
believe that at all.
Yes, it did happen. Yes, it did.
We're gonna need this.
I will show you. I will show you. Don't make me. All right. No, but that did happen, and I was like, "Hey, all right.
That's
I'm talking a little
awesome.
bit. It's great."
That's how you
God.
feel, that's how you bring attention. Whatever brands that you are interested in, it's good to use those brands and tag them so you can get their attention on social media. So that's really what you did.
Peyton's just upset because he's
He wanted the Calvin Klein hat.
he looks at my body and he's like, "Golly, that's a man." Just kidding. All right, so let's go back into this really quick. This is a good question. Leanne, do you and Don designate quiet quality time that's non-negotiable from capturing or editing content? Family time, I guess.
Yes, we definitely do. So we've treated our social media work like a 9 to 5, like Mondays through Thursdays or Monday through Friday. We really focus on shooting, editing, really just doing all the work, and so that we can unplug on the weekends. But we do
like after a certain
even
period
after a
at
certain
night,
time at night as well. But we just try to divide the time, and I think that's really helped us. And we have like our date nights and also our time with Zaya. So I feel like we balanced and figure out what
you have to have a balance in life. Otherwise, you'll really drive yourself crazy. And again, like even when I say like we capture everything, like Leanne said, there's times where even in down moments, if we're out, we'll capture it quick, but then we're putting our phones away and we're coming back and posting later or editing later. We're not in it all like the whole time. So even in down moments, there's a time to find balance, because if we're chilling, like a lot of times we'll be chilling, and if like a good idea comes,
like we have to shoot.
We're like, yo, we gotta shoot. It's too good.
or say it's such a trending topic that you have to do it today. Like if it's like something that's about sports and all the game is happening tonight, we have to do it.
But for
or
the most part,
holidays, you wanna hit it around the most hottest time. But also what we've done too is just we shoot multiple videos in one day, so we can kind of relax the next few days. That enough content to last us the week. So that's always a good idea too.
Okay. Let's take a quick break from the questions. Let's hit one more topic on the piece of paper, Peyton.
Okay. Let me pull that right out. Let's see. I should have put these cut them up and put them in the back or something and drew them out. So it's just like a surprise. So you talked about this a little bit before about, maybe networking with other content creators, things like that. So what does that look like? Is that like you messaging them on the platforms, or is that like you going to some content creator meetup, or what is that?
A lot of our friends, like how we even started, it's just one person introduces you to the next person, introduces you to the next person, and we all just kind of like, hey, do you want to do a video together? So you just reach out. You can DM them.
We get hit up a lot by, I guess they're called micro influencers, where they have maybe in the 10 to 100,000 follower range, looking to grow, and they'll come and we'll all shoot different ideas. Because one, you never know who's next up, because literally one video can get you 100 million views. You know what I mean? You can post one video and wake up and have 1 million followers. And so
I never thought of it that way. That's crazy.
Yeah, like literally one YouTube video took us from 100,000 followers to 700,000 followers. Just one video.
And honestly, whoever comes around us, they're going to be in the videos, even if they didn't ask. I'm like, can you do a video?
Yeah.
You just kind of shoot content and have people be a part of it.
And I'll say that to say, there's a lot of people that may not be in our circle that will just send a DM like, hey, whenever you guys are shooting, I'd love to come by, or I'm in LA, and you never know who's going to respond or what circle you're going to find yourself in. But definitely reaching out to, other influencers in your city, because nowadays there's big influencers in the millions pretty much in every city. So
even micro influencers, their engagement is
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
So I mean, it's not even about how many followers. It's just, you know,
Yeah,
I
and
for me,
I
I
tell
just
Peyton that all the time. Tell Peyton that all the time about that. He's never listening to me. Jeez.
Yeah.
But
Hold
on
on.
that,
Let's
wait,
talk about the engagement a little bit
I was
more
going to
while we're
talk
on
about
it.
that. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
But okay, go
I
ahead.
think my
You
question's
can.
gonna be a little better, but
Okay. Let's see.
so one of your notes that you had is focus on getting good engagement, and specifically, you know, think about content that your followers may want to share. So how are you getting that intuition? Is it just from like tried and testing things before? Is it at looking at what is, you know, trending that everybody else is following? Like, are you looking at data on the backside? Like, how are you anticipating what your followers might like to share? How do you know that?
Want me to answer that?
Yeah, I'll answer that.
Yeah, I think really it comes down to kind of like what I had mentioned. Like if it's a situation where you think other people can relate, you know what I mean? Like if you're a parent and you're dealing with your kid who keeps throwing tantrums in the store, obviously there's other parents who have kids who are probably dealing with this. So we'll be like, well, how can we shoot this video really quick and post it, because we know that so many people are going to relate to it. And what happens is they're going to share that video. And the more that people share the video, the more the engagement's going up. So if my video is shared 1,000 times, that means that, you know, thousands of people are now watching the video. And so if you're doing more relatable videos, then those videos are going to be sent out more times than none. So that's one big thing. And then again, like she said, the trending, finding, you know, trending music or trends that are happening on social media. Like there was a trend that was going around, the one that we just caught. It's like the trend where you're about to open the car door and then you like.
Oh, I saw that. We went over the roof of the car.
Yeah. Like, so we've seen that trend. And one of our friends did the video and he got like 50 million views on the video. And then we looked and there was like other people there was like a guy who I think he had like 10,000 followers. And he did this same trend and used the same audio, and his video got like 25 million views. Damn. You know what I'm saying? And he had 10,000 followers. Yeah. And so finding those trends, it now put him in a whole new demographic of followers that he never would have reached just doing the same type of content. So it's things like that.
You know, for me, to pay attention to my audience, I really focus on just asking them. You can go on your stories and do polls. You can say, what kind of content do you like? You want more fashion or beauty makeup? Or do you want fitness or comedy? Like, you kind of give yourself some polls for people to choose from. I think that's a really good way to see what your audience likes. And the numbers don't lie. They'll tell you, you know, if they vote, what they vote for. And I do think that, you know, every video that we've done, like some of them hit, some of them don't, but you just keep punching out content and it just catches. So just like Don was saying, oh, this is trending, we should try to do it. And sometimes it won't do as well. And then videos that we work so hard on, sometimes they don't do good. And then you do something so simple and oh my God, that video went viral. So you just never know. You just got to keep creating content and finding things that's relatable, and also trying to make everything to who you are. I would say just because you see a trend doesn't mean you want to do exactly what it is. You can switch it up and make it your own. And I saw someone ask like how much of the content that you post is more for like trendy or is it original? So we like to mix it up. We like to do both, because when you do trends, you're also getting caught on the popular audio. So a lot of people that click the audio, like Don said, oh, I saw so many people that do this video. That's how they can also find you. But you can also do original content, so you have your own identity, because you don't want to lose that on your social platform. There's so many people that are doing content, but you want to make sure you're reflecting the personality and person that who you are on social media. So it's good to do both.
And I think that's where the Instagram stories and like Snapchat come into play, because if on your main feed you're doing all of the comedy content or the trending content, but on your stories or Snapchat, you're allowing your followers to now see you and see your personality in your life. And that's where sharing your life on stories kind of brings them deeper in just the trending content that you're doing.
Mm-hmm. It's like mini vlogs on
Yeah.
stories.
Like Leanne's my wife, and I still just sit and watch her stories, and I'm like, I'm learning so much about you. Wow.
I feel like you guys have given away gold right now. I mean, the
Yeah.
information you have given is just amazing. I'm like super interested. I'm like, God dang, that's
You know, but
crazy.
if you
I
look
just
at
like-
everything and summarize it, though, there's like a common theme with every single person that we talk about, whether it's like actor, model, influencers, whatever, and it's consistency and it's like being authentic. Like those
Yeah.
two things, like if you just do that, it puts yourself like so much further ahead than everybody else who's just trying to like imitate something else.
Right.
Just being
Right.
you and being consistent with it.
Because those are two hard things, really.
They are, yeah, easier
like,
said than
you have
done.
to be so real and be okay with all of your insecurities and imperfections. Like, you just have to be honest. But that's what people love and can relate to. Like, I'm just like that. And I love that she's sharing that, because honestly, majority of the people don't want to show that side to themselves,
Mhm.
So it's good, and look at it more like it being a help and an inspiration to others. Is just always a good perspective to have, rather than it being an insecurity, because again, people can relate to it and they're inspired by it, and yeah, it's just easier to be yourself, so.
So what do you guys recommend for interacting with followers via comments? Is there an algorithm for responding to followers? Or let's just start with, what do you recommend for interacting with your followers? Like comments? I mean, do you like comments, or how does the interaction go with the followers?
Usually we do, especially on Snapchat. I feel like that's where a lot of our, I do a lot of replies on Snapchat, comments as well. I do a lot of liking of the comments and replying sometimes when I can, but we do pretty much lives too. We do lives, or we
try to do lives,
Q&As.
Q&As. The liking of the comments, sometimes it gets tricky, but for the most part, liking comments, sometimes we'll try to reply when we can to comments.
So
But as far as helping your engagement, I will say, I think like
commenting back, because you're adding comments.
Not so much liking the comments, but if you're commenting back, it definitely helps the engagement, because it shows traction going on in your comments. When I first started Instagram, they changed this up a little bit, but when I first started doing Instagram, there was like a trick in the system to get you on like the popular page or explore page, was actually commenting like in your comments. So like every time I do a post, I would sit and I would just comment to everybody, and I would say different comments, and it would push every one of my posts to the explore page, and then my followers would just shoot up. Now it's a little bit more controlled. It still works a little bit, but it's the explore page is more controlled now. So it's more based off of the things that you're looking at, more so than the engagement and comments.
Here's a fun question. If social media wasn't a thing, what would you be doing?
I feel like I'd be in the creative space. Like, I moved to LA. I loved, just the entertainment world of just music and dancing. And I loved, it's funny because I moved out here for music, but I fell in love also with photography and editing. So anything in the creative space, I would probably be doing that. Or I would just probably be, I don't know, what else? I'd probably be on an island selling some coconut juice and dancing. That would be my other side of me, what I would do. But yeah, just in the creative space, I feel.
I think I'll be the CFO of Preview Models.
Well, please come on board, because that would save me so much time.
Let me tell you,
like we have an open position for you right now.
Yeah, man. Dude, it has been wild for Preview Models lately. I mean, me and Peyton have been working nonstop, and I feel like my whole life has been just working, Peyton, and the kids right now. That's all I have time for right now. So, but it's good. It's good. I enjoy it. Also, I think Don would still be in entertainment as a movie star. He was going to star in an action film, and he was going to be Needleman, and that just
Needleman.
It just never hit the theaters, unfortunately.
It came out. I'm sick.
No, we were actually we were having dinner one time. We were in I think San Francisco area, and we were like saying what our superpowers would be, and That's what I gave Don. I said he'd be Needle Man. He just.
Hey, that's what happens when you're a thin model, man. You become needle.
All right. So let's jump into one more. Let's see. Do we have non-negotiables around content creation? Let's go with let's pick this.
Do multiple types of content.
Okay, yeah, let's go there. Can I do multiple types of content for X fashion, makeup, and fitness and all of that? Or is it better to narrow it down to find my audience? Thank you so much for your answer, guys.
That's a good question because, you know, me and Leanne.
It's the wrong question for us. You know why? Because we like to do everything.
It is, but it's a good question because we
had to
like to do everything. And when we first started out, you know, Leanne was doing comedy with Vine and she was doing some beauty and fashion. And I came off of being a fashion model and we started doing comedy and we were doing music. So we would try to do music and we tried to blend a lot of different things on our page. And what we find is it does kind of confuse your audience, especially initially when you start to do too many things. You have to kind of focus. You have to narrow it down and try to focus. Now, that doesn't mean you can't do multiple things, but we try to, because we still do fashion. Most of our channel is like fashion and comedy. You've kind of like, and you'd still do beauty.
I mean, we were doing like 5 to 10 things and now we narrowed it to 3 things. I think also you don't want to burn yourself out and overwork yourself to where you don't even know what to do. You don't have enough time, you're stressed, and then you just want to end up giving up because it is very exhausting to even have one choice.
You can find a way to narrow it down and blend the worlds together. Like, for example, we may do a comedy video, but because we do music, we may record a song to where now we can use our song in some of our videos. So now we're using our musical side that we want to do. We're chasing a music passion, but we're still doing our comedy. And then alongside of doing comedy videos, we'll still sprinkle in some fashion videos or fashion photos on our page. And by doing that, we're now letting some of these brands know that we also are tapped into the fashion space, but our primary focus on our channels are now comedy. So there's a way to sprinkle everything in, but we've also grown our audience to a point now to where, you know, when you're first starting out, you kind of want to keep it very clean. So when people are coming to your page, they know what they're following for. You know what I mean?
And say if you want to do beauty, fashion, and fitness, you could do Fitness Fridays, Monday fashion, Workout Wednesdays, whatever it is. You just want it to be consistent so people understand what you're trying to portray on your page. So it is true though, the more you focus it on something like just 1 or 2 things, it's easier. And brands know, like, okay, I know Leanne does this, so let's, you know, hit her up for this deal, for this. So it's like you can do everything you can, but I think it's important to know your main focus and then whatever you want to sprinkle in, like Don said.
And that goes into this question is what would be good advice for someone who's trying to narrow it down? So I think that's how did you narrow it down to what you decided on comedy, family, or the topics that you have? What would be good advice for someone who's trying to narrow it down?
Well, for us, we seen that the comedy was getting the most engagement for us. And that's what was resonating most with our followers. So we were like, well, let's put majority of our focus into the comedy since that's what's resonating the most with the followers, but still try to find ways to incorporate our passions, you know what I mean? Which is beauty for Leanne and fashion for me and Leanne and music. So I guess it ultimately depends on what you truly love, because we also just enjoy doing comedy, but you have to first start off with doing what you love. So like if you're trying to be a beauty influencer and you do some comedy and you see the comedy's working, then find a way to incorporate your beauty into the comedy, right?
I
But-
like
Okay.
Leanne's idea though of, you know, if you are trying to figure out what you want to kind of niche down to is, you know, Monday do this, Tuesday do this, Wednesday do
Yeah.
this,
You don't know
and
what the
then,
audience
you know, slowly
love.
let the ones that are, you know,
Because
really
again, exactly. You'll
traction
see
to
what
go
they're,
Mhm.
you'll see what videos or photos are gaining the most traction, and you'll be like, oh, my followers are liking this more. Let me do more of that.
Right.
That's how we did it.
Do you think there's a space for this is just a question for moody people who have only child syndrome? Do you think there's a space for that in social
Yeah.
media?
Because if there
Really?
is,
So-
I'm gonna
so
have
there-
like 5 billion
Oh my
followers.
god, dude! Only child syndrome. Peyton has the worst only child syndrome everywhere we go. It's always about
There's space for
only-
everything on social media, for
You
sure.
know what? Maybe I just need to make a page all about that and how it's okay to be the only child and let everybody know.
Hey, listen, I'm my mother's only child, so I grew up an only child. I didn't really grow up with my brother and sisters that were raised from somebody else, so I had only child syndrome for the most part.
Yeah, but you share a lot. See, what I'm saying is you've always been caring and you share, and like Peyton, like
I think you and
he'll-
I like shared like a whole dinner just like 48 hours ago.
yeah, that is true. We did share dinner, but most of the time, like he'll be like, "Oh, I'm thirsty or I'm hungry. I'm going to order something," and we have the same day. I'm hungry too. He doesn't even ask me if I want anything or doesn't bring me a water or nothing. And like then I'll have to like ask him to take some of his food, and it's like, no.
And there you
You know
go.
what? I have like a reel and a post and a YouTube long all about that ready for you.
Oh my goodness. All right. So let's see here. There's something about merch. Let's get into that. I like that. Merch. How much does merch sales impact your overall revenue stream? Some influencers make more from merch sales versus deals. Is that the same for y'all? Question
I
mark.
think it in some cases yes, in some cases no, depending. Like partnerships are not guaranteed, they always just happen. So there could be a month where we get, like for the holidays, we had many opportunities to work with different partnerships, and so we work then. And but also depending, also holidays we do really well too. So it just depends. I think there are just
The
like
difference
anything,
between
there's-
merch and partnerships is with merch you can control it more because
Yeah.
you're creating products. You can be releasing products on your own dime, and the work that you're putting into it is what you're getting
Yeah.
out of it. You know what I mean? With partnerships, you're solely relying on other brands to need you for content.
Yeah.
And with merch also, Leanne is very good at merch because with merch you have to think from a consumer standpoint instead of what you want. You know what I mean? Because it's a sale, you're selling a product. So you have to think, what does the world want? And I think a lot of influencers with merch, they're thinking about themselves where they're like, oh, I'm going to put my picture on a shirt, or I'm going to put my name on a shirt. But when you're doing merch, what I've learned from watching Leanne is you want to think of it more of a brand than just merch. You know what I mean? Because merch does great for artists who are on tour, comedians, people who are on the road who have a fan base that are coming out to see them on shows, and you can put your name and photos on a product. But as far as like just a content creator, you want to think about things that are just going to be for people with no opinion, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like because for merch also, when you are a creator and you start selling merch, don't be discouraged if you don't get sales right away, because it takes time for your audience to start learning to buy from you, to trust your products. And I think a lot of it too is when you focus on your brand, because you are a brand. If you are trying to be a creator, you become a brand. So say I'm selling a white t-shirt, and there's many brands that sell white t-shirts, but why would they want to buy your t-shirt? I feel like you have to always stay connected with your audience, and whatever you sell, they're going to support because they love who you are. So I think a lot of the times with our stuff, we do a lot of family merch. We do a lot of affirmations and positive and really fun merch that's like you don't really see out there. Like a lot of the times I'm searching for Filipino merch, and so I'm like, I don't see much of that, so I'm going to try to create it. So I think being creative and just trying to see what kind of products that you can give to your audience that you're not getting anywhere else.
But merch is definitely it could be very financially blessing if you put the work in it and get to it.
Yeah.
Do you think you guys could be just as successful without social media in case you're introverted or you have anxiety? LOL. So, I mean, let's talk about, I think, entertainment in the entertainment realm of acting, modeling, singing, dancing. Do you think you could be just successful without social media?
I believe so. Like Don said earlier, he was saying as long as you stick to it consistently and don't give up, something's going to happen.
I think you just have to. I think if you believe in yourself,
Yeah.
and you believe that whatever you want to happen in life is gonna happen some way or another. Like if social media never took off, I was gonna be in the same place successfully, no matter what I was doing. And I just look at life like that, you know. And social media is such a blessing, and it's opened so many doors. But I think as an entrepreneur in the world, you just have to believe that you're gonna make it happen no matter what. You know, whether it's I don't know, whatever you're doing, you just have to believe. And there's
Sometimes you have to create your own luck.
You gotta create your
is.
own luck. That's
There it
exactly
Create your own luck. That's true.
All right. Let's see. Let's get back into this here. Speaking of family, how open was your family to supporting being involved in your content? Let's talk about the family, Papa V, the whole family. So how supportive and open were they to you guys shooting content and involving them?
Growing up, my dad, I pretty much got all of those traits from my dad. So he has always been the entertainer of the family. And being Filipino, we love to karaoke. So we're always singing, dancing. So they've always had that in them. And when I wanted to pursue that career, they were just all for it. Surprisingly, because Filipinos, they want you to be a nurse or a doctor. So it was really out of our comfort zone for me to move to LA and do this. But my dad was just so excited. My mom just wanted to support. So I think they were really
our parents fight to be in our videos. So
to be in our videos. So they're super supportive. They love being a part of it. And yeah, they love being in the videos. So it really helps us because we don't have to force them. And they're funny. Like I feel like
the family videos are so funny. I love seeing Papa V.
They want to see Papa V dance. They want to see Zaya. So, you know, it's just a great, and it's also fun for the family. We all enjoy looking back at all the videos that we've created, and they get a joy out of that too.
Yeah. What is your guys' go-to karaoke song? Just so I know. What is it? What is it?
Papa V is Elvis, always.
I've heard that from him before. Yes, I have. Yep.
Mine is like, I feel like, I don't know. I like Disney songs. I do a lot of duets with my dad. Me and Don's, we like, what do we say?
Mine is probably definitely Eminem, Lose Yourself.
Lose Yourself. Is that what you sing?
That's what I rap. Because I can't sing,
funny.
bro. I sound crazy. I scare everybody out the house when I try to sing karaoke.
When you sing, but I've heard you rap. You're a decent rapper, though. This is good. This is
yeah,
good.
but I'm not a decent singer. Unless I got if I got some auto tune though, if they can create, that's what we need to do. Is we need to create a way to have auto tune on your vocals when you're singing karaoke.
Yeah.
I feel like I could do a good Keith Sweat. Like that's always I have a good rasp and I can nail it pretty good. Yeah.
No,
Peyton
I don't have any comments on that at all.
I've heard Peyton do Weird Al Yankovic. It's pretty funny.
That is not
Weird Al.
Oh my gosh. So look here, we're slowly like running out of time here. So I want to wrap it up with like one more question, and then we can maybe talk about what we're doing in Vegas soon, and then how to find you guys. I think we already said it. But anyway, so we have so there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's TikTok, there's Snapchat. What else? Am I missing? There's YouTube. So are there any other platforms that are interesting to you right now? That's like one part of the question. And it's like, and my second part is, you know, where do you think social media is going? Like, you know, what's next? What are you starting to kind of see things lean in towards?
Yeah, I mean, there's those platforms, there's live streaming platforms like the Twitches and the new ones they're creating. I mean, social media is only getting bigger, and now with AI and all these AI apps, and I mean, there's no telling where it's going. But I mean, for us, we always try to tell people, it gets kind of overwhelming when you're like, there's so many platforms now. How am I going to create content for Instagram? And then I got to think about TikTok. And, you know, we as a unit, like a lot of people in our circle, we try to create content that can live on all platforms. So you don't have to drive yourself crazy. Like we'll try to create a video that can live on every platform. If we're doing our daily stories, we'll try to make it a little different for each one so that people still feel like they're getting something different. But we try to like ease our way in, and our stories will be able to go on, you know, all platforms. And but for the most part, you can do some content and then break it down into different variations for each platform so you don't get content fatigue. You know what I mean? And I think that helps, because no matter, they're going to keep creating new platforms, and then there's lives, and then there's platforms where you got to charge subscribers, you know what I mean, for certain things. And there's so many, and there's only going to be more. So I think as long as you're doing what you love on a daily basis, whatever the content is that you're creating, you're going to be able to survive whatever platforms come, because we just genuinely do what we love every day, and we're just putting the content out, and some resonates and some don't, but we just keep creating every day. And when a new platform comes on, we're like, okay, we're going to jump over here and we're going to do the same thing we've been doing, create the content we love. And it's going to continue to grow how it's supposed to, because we're just being consistent. You know what I mean? And you post every single day, and on certain days where you don't feel like it, if you've been doing the work and creating on the days where you are working and you have multiple, you know, videos or multiple photos, then when those days come around, you're good. So I think that's how we kind of look at it.
Yeah. And somebody's kind of, next thing is AI. That's kind of what we're hearing. You know what? I've been actually nervous, because I've been getting like people messaging me on Instagram, like leaving me voice messages to like leave them a voice message. And sometimes I'm thinking like, do they just want my voice to like make it something? Like I've been getting some weird things lately. I'm just saying, it's like, they're like, nobody, like I've never heard of them before. Like, leave me a voice message. I want to talk to you about X, Y, and Z. And I feel like, why do they want me to leave them a voice message? They're trying to steal my identity.
Steal your voice.
I don't know. See, I think they're like way on the other side of things. Like, cause you know, some of those like your banking app or like the banking line, sometimes they recognize you by your voice. Like if you set that up. So I'd be like, you know what? I'm not talking to nobody.
Yeah, I mean, that's a scary thing. There's so much scams going on now with this. Is like, that's the scary part, man. It's like,
you know,
the trust level.
I think for me, when it comes to replying, I sometimes skim through the comments or even the DMs, and I'll kind of put together a few different questions and just answer it on Instagram, on like my stories. Like, I get a few questions about this, so you don't feel like you have to send a voice note or you have to reply all the time, because sometimes it could be overwhelming, like Don says, to have to go through everything. But I think it is, you know, important to reply to them, but find ways to do it how you feel comfortable doing it. So
yeah. So Peyton, what do we want to talk about Las Vegas? Let me hear it.
So a couple of things. So Preview Models is going to be in Las Vegas on the 16th, I think, of March. Yeah. You know, if everything is correct, I think Don and Leanne are going to be there as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so.
We'll be there.
Yeah, we haven't been to Vegas in a really long time for auditions, but we usually see some great talent. So if there's anyone here that's not signed up for that audition, I think somewhere in the comments, not the comments, but the description of the video, there's a link for that. And if you're not in Vegas, there's a link for our next virtual audition, which is tomorrow, actually. So get on that if you want to do that. But that's all I got.
Yeah,
that's
Vegas,
all you got.
Yeah. We can't wait to see everybody in Vegas.
We're gonna do a meet and greet, right?
Yes.
Well, we are working on that right now, Leanne.
I mean, we're hoping to do it.
Don said,
we're working on it.
There will be some variation of a meet and greet at our audition, but there may also be an additional.
100%. We are meet and greeting at the Preview Models. Yeah, like maybe bring some journals. Like, let's see what we could do. Leanne has some amazing journals. Let's talk about the journals real quick and what they have helped you accomplish, like the journals and how we can get these journals and what they do for people.
So basically, I started journaling 2020 when the pandemic happened, and I feel like that time that was the time when me and Don had gone through a really tough moment in our relationship. And honestly, that tough moment was our greatest moment of strength and growth. So I started journaling and writing things down. And I think the biggest thing that helped me and my family, because we were all going through it, I feel like everyone went through it, 2020, being locked in the house and not being able to do anything. So it's like you kind of get, crazy in your mind. Like, I need to just figure out a way to just have this mental peace. And so writing down, I believe what you write down can manifest. I started getting into manifestation, and I'm a woman of faith. I was raised in a Christian household. And so just finding ways to be positive, I notice it's really brought so many more blessings into my life and making me more happy with myself and the blessings that I do have. Because sometimes we can easily forget all the things that we prayed for that we already have, that we forget because we always want more. We're working on the next thing, when you forget to really celebrate and meditate on the things that you have today. So writing in a journal, I started first, it was just a piece of paper, and I would write down with my family every day, write 7 things that you're grateful for, or things that your future self will be grateful for, that you want to manifest into your life. So we did that for a year, and I noticed all of us started being so much more happier, and we're just more at peace with a lot of things and just putting our faith in God. And so I wanted to create a journal that was a simple journal, because I didn't really understand like what journaling was and how much work you have to put in. Like, I just want to wake up and just write down what I'm grateful for. So I started writing a simple journal and just creating, 7, what are you grateful for? So write down 7 things that you're grateful for. And then that was pretty much it. And you have notes. And then the next year I did a volume 2, and I added my affirmations and a few Bible verses of my favorites. And I just noticed it just really helped me and allowed me to be so much more positive. And it attracted more blessings, everything. So I truly believe what you write down has so much power. What you say has so much power. What you think has so much power. Because overall, over social media, over anything that you want to accomplish in life, everything starts with your mind. Because what you think about is your reality. So even when you're on social media, you could be so down from seeing other people being successful. You start comparing yourself. You're seeing all these people commenting negative things. And it's just so many distractions. So you have to start with your mind and the things that make you feel positive and feel good about yourself, because your mental health is number one. So I think that's also what helped me and Don in our relationship, was really seeing what we can do for our individual selves. Because even when you're in a relationship, you can start losing yourself, being so consumed in your partner. So you start losing your own identity. So I think what helped us through that 2020 year, we really focused on what we needed to grow within ourselves, and then coming together, we're stronger, we're whole. So my journal is all about that. It's all about uplifting and focusing on the positive things. And so much happens when you shift and elevate your mindset. So I'll be selling those journals. They're available online. And
where are they available at?
What was that?
Where are they available at?
My merch website, allthingsleannev.com. And I also have a Positivity 101 book that has 101 positive affirmations. So I'm all about that. And I feel like it's definitely transformed me and Don's life. So I think it's super important.
Good. And you have a kids book coming out, right? For manifestation.
Yeah, so we have a kids affirmation book. And then we also have a kids affirmation book, Filipino American edition. So half of it is in American, and then half of it is in Tagalog.
It translates into Tagalog. So me and Don are teaching Zay. Well, Don's learning Tagalog.
I'm learning it while my daughter's learning it. So I'm learning Tagalog myself. Like, okay.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. It's a fun way if you want your kids to learn some Tagalog, some positive affirmations. But it's really transforming.
Good.
All the books are available on allthingsleannev.com.
Allthingsleannev.com. That's right. And it would be cool if we got a short invitation from Don and Leanne to go to Las Vegas for preview. They're going to be in Las Vegas at the preview show.
Yes.
Come say hi. Come say what up. Come get a journal from Leanne. She'll sign it, personalize it for you. So come say what's up. Yeah, for sure. And I think that's all the time that we actually have today. Is that right, Mr. Payton?
That's right. That's all the time we have. Some of us in different time zones, like me, have to eat eventually. So
yeah, it's been a long day. It's been a long day.
At the very, at the very, very beginning of the YouTube, whatever, there was a question though that we should answer. And the question was, are we going to continue doing these live sessions after the March event? And the answer is yeah. That's our goal, again, is to start putting out as much content as possible about what's going on in this crazy industry. That sometimes is a little fun.
And let's go ahead and put in the comment section also allthingsleannev.com, so you guys can check it out, what's going on. Don and I have some stuff going on with Create Luck. We're actually filming tomorrow. We have some content that Don and I are going to shoot tomorrow. We're going to drop some stuff, and Create Luck is hopefully going to be live this week.
Yes.
Excited. Finally. Yes. Been a long time coming. But that's going to be it for us today. Don and Leanne, thank you guys so much for coming on. I appreciate you guys.
Yes.
I'm so glad that you guys are in my life. You guys are great friends, great family, and thank you guys for coming. And Peyton, it's always such a pleasure to see your peachy face. I love it so much. If I was there, I'd give you a big kiss. But
all right,
that's all the time that we have today. Thank you guys for joining, and we'll see you on the next live. Thank you guys.
Yes.